How you doing? I'm Zach. It's the 1st of June, 2016, or May 32nd, whichever you prefer. I'm here, America's Best Value Inn. We've got a very big hotel project here, 72 rooms in this particular building. Trying to do a color change. Quickest way to make that happen is fill the nail holes and caulk the trim. Get that trim painted a good coat. Then come back, do the color coat change. Color change on the wall. Then the building looks different, looks done. Then we come back, we do these smaller areas in between the doors, the stuff that only I notice. What we need to pay attention to in the meantime, as far as prep work is, filling the nail holes and caulking this trim. This is what I want done with these doorways. I want them scraped and primed. After the primer, then they get caulk. And then after that, they get a bead of caulk around the base to seal those up so that they don't get rotted anymore. All the old caulk has to get cut out. I'll show you. Here's the doors here. This loose paint needs to be scraped open. All that loose needs to come off there. If the caulk is cracked, it needs to be cut back and cut out and removed. This door caulk isn't cracked except for right down there. Right there. Caulk's cracked. That's got to be cut back. You got to come in up to about here. Remove that old caulk. This old caulk down here, that has to be carved out of there. It has to be carved out of there and removed. Then this has to be wiped down with some solvent, preferably lacquer thinner. Clean that surface so the new caulk can stick. If the paint is spalted, meaning just cracked a little bit, like right here, you can see the paint's cracked and it's rising up. That needs to be cut open. It needs to be exposed to the wood. That bubbled up paint's got to come off of there. All this here is cracked. That's got to be carved open with the tip of your knife. Doesn't have to be scraped all the way up there, just right here where it's cracked away from the surface. Then it's got to be primed and sealed immediately. It can't be left out to the weather, scraped and left. It'll just keep peeling and popping open. And then we can fall back and do the details. These columns, the same thing. These columns can't be left with the paint peeling open. The moisture gets in the wood and it's going to continue to peel. If it continues to peel, that's going to prolong the preparation. If you're going to do that, you might as well peel and scrape the whole damn thing, because that's what you're going to end up doing if we don't get these sealed up. We got a guy coming in here on the weekends to work. He needs to do some of this preservation work. When these walls get painted, I want the paint all the way back there. As far as that old color, I want that old color covered with the new color. That's the way it's got to be. I don't care how straight the cut-in lines are right now. This is the first coat. It doesn't matter. It just has to look good when you pass them by. As far as the paint getting back in behind it, the paint's got to get in behind these edges. You can't be seeing old paint. Here's a good example. Right here. You look up in there, you can see that, okay? I don't want to see that. Same thing here. See that? I want that paint to go back there as far as it can get. Not like they're looking at you. That's crap. That's not professional. That's not a highly trained professional. Neither is all this half-dried paint gumming up in the brush. Brushes have to be rotated. You need multiple brushes. This bottom edge board, that's the last one to get painted. That bottom edge is contamination. There's dust and dirt coming off of that old siding. That's got to be sealed up with new primer. Same thing with the threshold along the floor there. That old tape's got to come out of there. The old tape from the old carpenter or painter, whoever did that. It's got to be sealed so the water can't get underneath that threshold. Same thing there. It's got to be sealed up so the water can't get under the threshold. See how I got that caulk there? Around the casing, around the jamb, up the back side of that casing. See that? That's how it's got to be done. That's how it has to be done. I want that paint all the way back to the end of that board. Learn how to use the brush. Which brings me to the next point. If you can't wash the brush out thoroughly, leave it for somebody who can. This looks fantastic. This is a preservation job. It's not just putting paint on the building. You're going to preserve the work so that it looks good next year. Primed, caulked, sealed. Primed, caulked, sealed. Has to be sealed right away. Primed, caulked, sealed. Ready for paint. Painting those jambs is not important right now. Getting them sealed up is. The trim has to be painted white immediately, and the walls can be coated. After that, we can all sit back and relax a little bit because the building looks done. Then we can pay attention to the details. Then we can cut the nice straight lines in. Then we can do the additional work that needs to be done. These columns, least of my concerns right now as far as painting them. They need to be primed and sealed. I'm not going to do all the hard labor while somebody comes around here waiting to paint. Don't come around here and wait. There's lots to be done. I'm not going to be taken advantage of. I'll give you everything I got, and I expect the same. If you're going to call yourself a highly trained professional, you need to compete with me. You need to keep up with me. Filling these holes with Bondo, that's a milk job. That's a union idea. Come on, guys. You want a team? You want a winning team? Well, let's put a winning team together. Let's do it.